This is my interview with country singer Chris Micheal, who is new to a solo career, but definitely not new to the local music scene. Chris has been playing more rock-oriented music with local band Jekyll and the Hydes for a number of years, and he's only recently decided to go the solo route as a country artist. We talk about why he made the decision to take this road, what inspires him, and a lot more. I also managed to convince him, before the end of the recording, to perform a song live for the podcast. So you hear that at the end. And you're also getting a first opportunity to hear his brand new single on this episode of Witch Police Radio. Hope you enjoy. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our friends at the Park Theatre, Winnipeg's premier concert and event venue. If you want to find out all the great shows they have coming up, go to myparktheatre.com.
You're listening to Garbage Hill, Winnipeg's first podcast network.
Welcome to Witch Police Radio. I am here with someone who has not been on the show before, but I feel like we've interacted online a bunch of times over the last little while.
I'm a social junkie.
Yeah, right. So I mean, I know of you, but this is my first time actually, sitting down face to face and having a conversation.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
I think maybe the best way to start is if you want to just introduce yourself and what it is that you do. And I know that's kind of a tricky question at the moment because you got a lot going on, but
It's busy. My name is Chris Forsyth.
Okay.
My middle name's Michael. So my established band in musical history here in Winnipeg is with Jekyll and the Hydes.
Right.
That's who I've been with, the group of guys that groomed me where I am now. And what's happened is just I guess you would say I've aged a little bit, and now I've getting more depth with my emotional side. I've kind of branched off and started to do my own solo project.
Okay.
Right? So
and that's Chris
which
Micheal,
is now Chris Micheal.
Right.
Yeah, so...
Okay, and I think back when, like a few years ago, I think you might have contacted me about Jekyll and the Hydes, and it just didn't, because I had so much other shit going on, it didn't work out, but...
Well, I mean, yeah, like, Winnipeg's vibrant. With
it's crazy.
The music scene is insane.
Yeah, it's out of control, yeah.
I think one day I'm, like, following everybody, and I'm sharing people's pages and stuff, and I'm like, hey... Okay, there's another 50 bands.
Yeah.
Where are these guys coming from?
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing this for almost 7 years now, and the amount of bands I haven't talked to yet is crazy. Oh. It's insane. Winnipeg is just every week there's new bands starting, and it's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's. I'm starting to get myself more into that. The whole band scene of getting the people out from the basement.
Right.
Because 4 years ago, before I had a time when with sobriety or whatever I had to deal with, and prior to that I was a guy that couldn't get out of the basement.
Right.
So I'm very passionate about getting guys on stage.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
So
I think there's a lot of people in Winnipeg like that who they make amazing music in the basement and just no one hears it.
Yeah, and I just think everybody deserves a chance. I mean,
totally.
There's nothing that it's like being in a natural habitat when the lights come on.
Right.
It's like I'm a wild animal.
Well, that's the point of the songs, right? You want to perform them in front of people.
Yeah. And I think everybody should be able to enjoy that.
Right.
It doesn't have to. It's not a hard thing to achieve. It's just put yourself out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, yeah.
And so, I mean, Jekyll and the Hydes and the solo project are very different sonically.
They are.
So how did you? I mean, first of all, how would you define the sound that Jekyll and the Hydes has?
Jekyll and the Hydes. So we've always been myself, Adam, and Steve. Original Steve, and then now we have Jay with us, but. We've always been after that big rock sound, right? Like, we want to be a wall coming off the stage.
Okay.
Originally, I was one of those guys way back in the day, didn't really have training singing, so I'd be have a really raw throat all the time.
Just from blowing it out?
Yeah. So I as we became more professional, I started to take training, and then I was able to groove myself because we want to be our big brother would be Ian Thornley or Pearl Jam.
Yeah, sure.
Or Eddie Vedder, and that's that's who our gods are, right?
And that's a big voice to be
like the gods.
That's a big voice to emulate. I mean, those guys they have voices.
I've been super driven towards training myself and like, I play every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like practice with my voice and to try to achieve that. I mean, I wouldn't say we're there, but
right.
We really are passionate and we try our best, right?
So how long has that been a thing then, Jekyll and the Hyde?
Jekyll and the Hyde's been around for 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at what point did you decide that the solo thing made sense? Because I mean, this is a country project.
So my best pal guitarist Adam. I was starting to write a lot of material, like I was saying. There was a darker side in my life 4 years ago.
Okay.
That isn't there now. When I first came out of I like to refer to it as like a dark side. And a lot of people who know me and probably listen to this will be like, we know the dark side.
Sure. Yeah.
He's definitely not that guy anymore. But, so I wrote an album in that duration when I basically like gravitated to like Earth again, right? Okay. So
I guess that probably gives you good material to write about, though, right?
Right, but like, I did. The whole first album is like, oh man, there's a lot of like toxic recovery in there, right? Okay. So, but Adam, my wingman, like he helped me get that whole band off the ground. So the problem is, as I started to grow as a person, and now that I'm in the light,
sure, yeah.
right? So I started to, I really had an internal drive to write music that's honest and with integrity, passionate, things that really touch me emotionally, like almost like the, that side, how I feel and the guys in Jekyll and the Hydes, they want to stick with the rock, right? So every time I'd show up and I pull up the acoustic and like, check this out, right? It's like, nah, man,
they don't want
come on, guys, like, man, I pour out my heart singing. And you shoot me down. So I must have did 6, 7 songs.
Isn't that what power ballads are for, though? You can.
They won't do ballads. No way. Like there's no ballads in Jekyll and Hyde. That's like a wall of rock, right? These guys are unbreakable, and I love them for it. Because they deliver. Everyone in that band works super hard, but
So you need an outlet for
they're
this
like,
sensitive
we're
stuff.
not doing a song that like it's like Dave Matthews Band.
Right, sure.
As talented as everybody is in the band, they could totally pull it off.
They just don't want to.
It's like you throw one of those songs in our set, it's like you derail the train.
No, that makes sense for sure.
So
especially live, right?
So I was like,
it takes
fine.
the energy down.
I would huff and I'd puff, and then finally I just said, forget it. You know what? I talked to them because like there's mega camaraderie in our band.
Sure.
Like, we're super tight. We're all brothers. And I said to them like, guys, I'm gonna like just do my own thing on the side, and they're like, give her, they're like, please, just stop bringing the cheese, right? Like, So I buckled down and I wrote an album of 10 songs.
Okay.
And then that's when I connected with Greg Arcade, right? Like,
who's been on the show a million times, and like he gets around in the local music scene for sure. Yeah.
I met him a few years back, and he's been like literally a mentor to me, right? Cool. Like I was a pretty lost musician. How do I grow? Like somebody please help me, right? And like him and I, he's spent, I swear to God, hours writing emails back to me like directions. So like my hat's off to that guy. But anyways, he started to help me with the growth of the Chris Micheal thing because that album ended up on somebody's desk that was initially going to become something that I wasn't really prepared for. Okay. Because I went in there, I was like, I'm going to sing like Eddie Vedder, and I'm going to play my acoustic, and I'm going to blow everybody away, right? And I even took a couple gigs, and for some reason, I don't really care much for like playing acoustic on my own, so I learned really fast. Right. That gig wasn't going to work for me. Right. So anyway,
you need a band, right?
Yeah, I was like, I need a band behind me. Yeah. Even I think Rami Mays is like, you sound like you hear the band, but the band people in the audience don't see the band. Sure. Like,
it's almost too intense on the acoustic.
Come on, Yeah. So I tried all sorts of singer-songwriter things to get myself out there.
Sure.
Anyways. Back to the Greg deal. Sat down. I guess they were kind of interested in my voice and stuff, and they said, how about would you do pop country?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, for me, I'm passionate about being a performer and entertaining. So I was like, you know what? If it gets me on stage and I get to use my songs, even though I have to change them a little bit to make them work. Yeah. And then I get to like get my message across, get my voice heard.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Okay.
Right? Obviously, like I wasn't... I'm a let's do things fast kind of guy. So I became kind of painful anyways. So I got a good taste for country.
Yeah. Had you had any country experience?
I had no country experience.
Okay.
Ever.
Did you listen to country?
I've been accused of being country because of the way I sing sometimes. Okay. And I like twangy guitars, right? Yeah. Like, so I think it was blessing and a curse in a way. Because this pop country thing, I sat at home and I started writing songs, right? I started writing these new songs, and I'm like, you know what? Sure, it sounds simple, but as you start reading and listening to these other country artists, man, this stuff gets complicated.
There's more going on than it's on the surface,
it's like the hand finger work on an acoustic guitar is almost like I like to feel for it like a blossoming flower, like the petals opening up.
Okay.
The way your hand moves, right?
Sure,
There's a lot of shape, and it goes with your voice. So, naturally, I became attracted to it.
Yeah.
And wanted to do it.
Okay.
And so now, I've...
Did you want... Was it the pop country stuff or like the more kind of darker, heavier sort
no,
of country
I
stuff?
wasn't, I wasn't that... I wasn't very moldable, I guess.
Okay.
Eh? That deal didn't work out too good for me.
Right. So did you? I mean, what kind of country did you gravitate towards? Like, what sort of twigged for you in your brain that this is like the type of stuff?
So what I started to listen to, man, I really like Keith Urban.
Okay.
That guy's super cool. I'm trying to remember the artist's name. He does that song "Beautiful Crazy" and a few other ones. He's a fairly new artist. I can't even think of the references right now. But anyways, it's...
But more like the stuff that's...
Big rocking country.
Sure.
I went to a show, actually, with a few people and realized that, you can still rock out pretty hard with country.
Well, it seems like a lot of country stuff, a lot of mainstream popular country stuff now is rock with just a bit of a twang to it. Like it almost seems like there's no difference between the rock station and the country station, just the accent. Like otherwise, it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, right? that's the one thing too I'm working on too. I'm working on that accent. sitting there with an acoustic guitar quite a bit.
Yeah.
But there's something about the power in the country and the organization of the music.
Okay.
Like, it's so tight. Like, if something's only there if it needs to be there. And I'm infatuated with that idea.
Okay.
Like, and so, like, the stuff that I'm working on right now with the guys, the Chris Micheal band, is, like, everything that we're doing is, like, completely refined.
Okay.
Like, it's not just a wall, right? It's like, if there's a hit or something.
Right, it's all perfectly timed out.
Everything's timed right now, right?
Yeah.
And, I'm like, I totally adore the slide and steel guitar.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm obsessed.
It's great sound, yeah.
Why didn't I know this? The motion is in. The moment has come. Where we say goodbye, look into each other's eyes, touch you last time. Never thought there was a goodbye. Your heart, there to remind me the love we shared. There holds me. Told me, fire in your heart and showed me I can stand on my own now. Not be scared. I can face the
So what has your experience been, I guess? I mean, I know this is a fairly new project, just the country side of things, but what has your experience been with the local country scene? Like, have you really spent much time kind of embedding yourself in that, or are you, is this all sort of to come, sort of?
Yeah, I know. I'm, like, I kind of follow what everybody else is doing a little bit. I'm on the original side. I've always been kind of on the original side of things.
Yeah.
You know, whether I'm entirely accomplishing that country, what everybody's expecting to hear.
Sure.
But to me, I think, like, the big rock sound with all the country elements in it,
Okay.
right?
Like the honesty and the integrity and all that comes with
honesty,
country. Yeah.
the integrity, that's going to be in the songwriting.
Yeah.
Big rock sound with all the country elements like slide.
Sure.
The way the songs drive and stuff like that. So I'm pretty good with that right now, yeah.
As far as the actual songwriting, I mean, is it essentially the same thing? You're just sort of changing the way that you're telling the stories in the songs, or is it? Because I mean, you know, like you're saying, you're doing the big rock sound with country music, right? So,
yeah,
is it pretty much the same format? You're just adding a few extra instruments and tweaking.
No. That's where it's totally different.
Okay, yeah.
Because when I'm singing a Jekyll and the Hyde song, for example, right, it's moving like a freight train.
Sure.
I don't have time to pull it apart, or like I was saying with the refining part of the country music, like I find that to do country, it's quite difficult to do country. It's not, and it's been challenging for me, and I'm really liking it.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And I've really been working it, so
yeah.
I don't have a lot of experience in country, and that's one of the things I fear most is being accepted by other country people.
Right. And that's kind of what I was getting at, like how you the local scene, because I mean, Winnipeg and Manitoba, I mean, especially outside the city, country's huge, right?
Yeah.
And there's so many, there's like whole circuits that a lot of country artists will just play all these rural festivals and town, you know, like every town has a little thing going on, and there's always country artists.
I don't expect to be invited, and I don't really care.
Right.
If I do, that's great. I mean, yeah, I'll be totally humble about it.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't happen, I'm not worried about it because like the musical scene that I'm involved with here in Winnipeg are so accepting.
Sure, I think the music scene in general is accepting.
And all the musicians I play with, and all the different bands here in Winnipeg, like I can. They're still going to give me a gig if I'm going to go up there and
sure.
I don't want to say it, but even if I'm posing country, right?
Yeah,
like whatever. But like I do what I love. I do what I feel good about. Like, and if I like something and I feel good about it when I'm playing it, then that's what I want to be playing, right?
Do you even need to pose country though, or is it just this is what it's sounding like at the moment?
Yeah.
And you're just doing you. Like, is that basically what it is? It's not. Oh, I'm trying to be country. This is
no. And I think you heard like you listened to the single, right?
Yeah. I can hear the Eddie Vedder type influence in the vocals for sure. Like that kind of thing.
But I'm not trying to like.
You don't wear a cowboy hat, one of those suits, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I put on a cowboy hat the other day, and it became a very entertaining subject where I became the victim.
Right.
But like I did it to myself.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm like a bigger than life attitude, right? Like I'm always happy, having fun, and hey, you know what? If I take a couple knocks to make somebody's day, perfect, right? That's who I am.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not going to be probably rocking a cowboy hat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that kind of goes with the other thing about country music too. Is like, you know, I think a lot of people feel like to be country, they need to have all that stuff, right? They need to be singing about a checklist of country themes. They need to be wearing the cowboy hat. And I think that one of the good things about kind of the fluidity of genres of music is you don't have to do that. You can take elements of country and mix them with rock and mix them with whatever else you're doing and still kind of fit into a country audience or a singer-songwriter audience or a rock audience.
Yeah.
And without having to sort of say, I am just this, right?
Yeah. Well, and like the thing is, I can't show you the new stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have a big gig at the Merch, like a country showcase June 22nd.
Oh, right on. Okay.
And we're gonna be bringing big fat helping of country.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a pretty good goal because I understand that this single I'm releasing right now is basically like that parallel bridge between leaving Jekyll and going to the country.
Right.
So
is it like an intro basically for you? Like said, this is who I am on the countryside?
This is kind of like, where's he going with this?
Okay.
And then, you know, everybody listen up, right? It's coming, man. It's coming. They don't know it. They don't know yet, but it's coming. You know, like it's coming.
Yeah.
Hard. So I think it's going to be priceless.
Cool.
Because some people are going to be like, that's not country, you know?
Right.
Because this diehard country people, they're like, just because of a steel guitar.
Oh, you know, definitely, yeah.
Doesn't mean it's country.
There's the purists, right? Who, everything has to be exactly how they,
A couple producers I talked to, they're like, it's not simple enough to be country. There's too many parts. You got like 3 songs in one, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, but old habits die hard,
Sure,
right?
sure,
You know?
yeah.
But it's what I wanted to hear. And like the whole background, I think I told you a little, I don't know if you want to talk about
Yeah, let's talk about it, sure.
The backlog of the song, right? Like, so, like, I had this dog for 12 years.
Yeah.
You know, 8 of those years I had this dog, like, I wasn't a very good owner. Like,
Sure.
I always loved my dog. My dog followed me around, never wore a leash. Like, we're best friends. She was at Howl at the Moon last year.
Oh, cool, okay.
Yeah, I kept sneaking into the bowl, eh?
Right on.
Yeah, we just had a great time. But, But when, like I said, the dark side of my life, and I went into like a recovery process. Like, that dog was like, she stuck with me through everything, and I had a huge respect for her.
Yeah.
And she really taught me how to live life on life's terms, right? Like just being with her. So when she passed away 4 months ago, I really wanted to devote a song to her.
That's cool.
So I sat down and I wrote that song. And when you listen to the lyrics about it, I had to sing it passionately.
Yeah.
I originally wrote it to be sang like full on country, you know, la la la.
Yeah.
But like it had to just be done that way. Whether this is a good thing that I did that for that song or not. It's just where my heart needed to be.
Sure.
For that.
That speaks to the authenticity you're talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you took that song that obviously means a lot to you and comes from a passionate place, and then sang it with an affected country accent, it wouldn't have probably hit as hard, right?
So that decision was made at the very final stages. And I had already had... So I had that song was about an 80% production, and then all of a sudden I started getting all the people together because I actually had... Howl at the Moon invited me back this year.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Yeah, which was awesome.
That's cool, yeah.
It was like, I love Howl at the Moon. That's like my biggest gig of the year.
Yeah.
So, I love it. So I was like, I gotta get a band together.
Sure, yeah.
You know, because they want Chris Micheal, they want the country thing still. So I was like, okay, perfect. Yeah, it worked out great because then I wound up with all these awesome musicians.
Yeah. Where was the single recorded?
I self-produced
Cool.
most of it. Cool. I had a little bit of help, actually. I had a little bit of help from Jason Gordon, my brother, Ryan, and that. They all helped mix and master. So I was basically like fathered.
Yeah.
You know, I was pulling my own strings, recording my own instruments.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, like this little room here is my...
That's awesome.
My music...
Well, it looks like it. I mean, you got the setup going on here. Yeah,
my music development space I built, and... yeah, I think I did a pretty good job of it.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously...
Sounds good, yeah.
Obviously, the professionals, they did what they did with it, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I got a really, really, really good resource of people around me helping me that believe in what I'm doing.
That's good.
Too,
That's good
right?
to need, yeah.
Including our common friends, too, right? Like, so, I mean, it's just awesome.
Inside
But yeah, fire in your heart is definitely the one song that I was like, no, everybody's like, oh, it should be this different, it should be that different. I was like, no, because when I listened to it, it got under my skin.
Right, yeah.
When I heard my own voice, when it was done like that, it got under my skin. It made me emotional to listen to it.
Yeah.
And that's when the deal's sealed, right? Not how it needs to be. So when the band releases its EP that it's going to be working on, the Chris Micheal band, and Jekyll's doing an EP at the same time.
Keep yourself busy,
yeah, nobody's getting a full album out of me. They each get half.
Yeah. Do you have a preference at this point? Like, I mean, I know you probably want to say, but like, are you able to split your brain kind of both sides and focus on both, or?
You know what's crazy? I have a backlog of written material for Jekyll.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. That's bought me a little bit of time.
right. Once you get rid of that, though,
as soon as that stuff's
what do you
gone,
do? Like,
I'm finished.
is there going to be do you foresee like an issue where you're writing a song and you can't decide which way it's going to go? Like, is it going to be the rock song?
Oh, we've already got that problem.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's like I was making little, just trying to. I guess one of the things you got to do as a musician now is like making YouTube videos.
Yeah, it's a thing now. Yeah.
I've been doing things the other day. I'm like taking Jekyll songs and I'm like countryfying them.
Okay.
And then I'm like playing them on YouTube.
Well, I guess you can do that though.
I'm like, fastest way to get kicked out of your rock and roll band.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing you can do for your live shows though, if you're solo, right? If you're playing a solo show and you need some more songs, you got these.
I mean, at the end of the day, I do the core writing of the songs for both bands as of right now. That's changing.
Okay.
With Jekyll.
Okay. Is that because you're focused on this as well, or is it just the way things have turned out?
I just think that everybody's kind of really matured really well and developed their own elements.
Okay.
That now everybody's got more ideas and like...
That's a good progression for the band to have, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the years that Jekyll's gone by, like we've played a lot of shows and done a lot of things. We're involved in a lot of like things like TJ's Gift and all that.
Yeah.
Like,
which is a big show. I mean, that's a
huge.
big event. Yeah.
Yeah, we played the Burton Cummings there.
That's awesome, yeah.
Not long ago, that was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the guys that stuff. Yeah, the stuff they're handing in now is like it's super tasty.
Cool.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I think that it's like a good business. You take a good business and you build it, and everybody knows their parts, and then the thing starts operating itself. And I think Jekyll Hyde's that's what it is now. Like it's good. It's a self-contained ecosystem.
It'll keep moving regardless.
Everybody knows what to do, right? It's like, hey, we rehearse once a week, and we all do our parts.
Yeah.
And we're all like clockwork.
And I guess you're hoping to get this band at the same level, right? So you can just keep them both.
It's already functioning.
Nice.
It's not functioning quite the same.
Yeah,
but
you just need more time, I guess.
Everybody's here, clockwork. All the songs get charted out. All the music gets done. Everybody knows their pieces, and everybody's focused on their stuff. And everybody comes with a super professional attitude.
That's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, and everybody's devoted. We're all after the same thing, right? We want to go out and perform and play and just. There's nothing that compares to that feeling.
No, it's how do you manage the time between the two?
Oh, I don't have kids.
Right. Yeah. That definitely makes an impact for sure. Yeah.
37.
Yeah.
So.
Well, me too, but yeah, like.
I don't. It's can get grueling.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm preparing for 3 shows.
Right. Yeah.
I got an acoustic show ahead of me. I got a Jekyll and Hyde show ahead of me, and I got a Chris Micheal show ahead of me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, not to say that you're old because I'm the same age as you, but like
I'm not old.
When you're 20, that's way easier to do. I mean, like I was in bands.
I say I was 37. I'm 27.
Are you 37 or 27?
No, 37.
Yeah. Okay. So me too.
27.
But no, when you were 20 though, right? I mean, I was in bands until I had kids, basically, and before that, I was in my 20s. I could play a bunch of shows in a row, no problem. I don't think I could do it now. It's like, do you feel that? Like, do you feel like that kind of the difficulty of just hustling that hard? Like, is it? Yeah.
Oh, and I still go to the cabin every weekend.
Yeah.
And I go boating.
Yeah.
And I play.
So how do you juggle it then? How do you juggle it to?
So Monday's Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay.
Wednesday's Chris Micheal.
Yeah.
And Saturday's my acoustic stuff.
Okay.
Every week. Like clockwork.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like clockwork.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost you can like sense the tension. if one person's not going to come to a jam, because everybody knows in our band, and a lot of bands don't treat it this way.
No, they don't know.
But it affects everybody if one person doesn't come, right?
Yeah.
Which is cool. People have things in lives, and everybody's busy.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, is that the older you get, the harder it gets to get everyone together in bands, because people have kids, people have careers, people have all kinds of shit that gets in the way. And it's...
So, like, as long as most bands, if they have that one day a week, you know, gets to be a routine. And I'm just, my family and my girlfriend and all that are super supportive. Right? They're all behind me. So, you know, whether this thing ever blossoms into more than the local scene, just is great. But if it doesn't, I'm gonna grow old. Being that guy. That's taking all the gigs.
I can see that. I can totally imagine just having talked to you for the past 20 minutes. You seem like that guy.
I'm gonna totally be playing the Northern when I'm 80.
Yeah. And you'll be happy with that, I guess.
$50.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Greg Arcade will be there with you.
Probably. We'll probably be the same band.
Yeah. Most likely, yeah. So, and you're cool with that? Like, if that ends up happening, you're fine seeing that? Yeah, that's good.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I've already accepted that. The costs of being a musician are always going to outweigh what I'm ever going to make. I'm not going to quit being a carpenter. That's for sure.
Right.
Tell me what you see, how you don't see what they all see. Tell me what you find deep inside. That's your reflection. There's no way back out of here. Down. Tell me what's in your reflection. Roll myself down today. Miles of information. Roads the same. Tell me what you see, how you don't see what they all see. Tell me what you find deep inside. That's your reflection. Down.
you hoping that this takes off, or are you just sort of want to see where it goes?
I really wanted it to take. I really want it to take off to the point where it's, like I said, kind of a business where it provides.
Yeah, sure.
The gigs, right?
Sure.
Like shows, so that we're all staying busy. Whether it's making money or not, it's not really.
That's secondary, I guess. Eh?
I mean, so if you think about it, if you calculate it, I play with 9 musicians.
Yeah, between the two, and
nobody's got their hands out.
Yeah.
And none of us do.
Yeah.
At any gigs, like we play in the city here, and sometimes we get an envelope with $20 in it. You know, what do we do with it? Oh, throw it in merch. Yeah, we have like 100 shirts here.
Yeah.
Every time we got 20, but we play a lot of $20 gigs.
Sure.
So, you know, like whatever.
I remember I did a lot of those too.
We don't care, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's just getting up there and playing and being noisy and like.
Yeah.
Sometimes I connect with people when I'm on stage and like they're into it.
Yeah.
Like I've got them in my tunnel and I'm looking at them and they're looking at me like, why are you looking at me? And I'm like, because you're enjoying it, man.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Or like, why is this guy so intense?
Here, look away. Keep enjoying it.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. The eye contact.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like awkward. It's one of my favorite things to do on
Yeah.
stage. I've gotten so comfortable over the years on stage that's helped me become like. I've been accused of like, oh, we didn't know you were like a band coming here. We thought you were like the bar band, the house
right?
band,
Yeah.
you know, because we're always like talking to the bar staff.
Yeah.
Like the old school cover band attitude, you know, on the weekends.
Yeah.
You know, like we all have that.
I think it's a good attitude to have, though. I think that's a good way to be looking at it. That like, you know, if it doesn't work out, you're still going to be doing it because you have the passion for writing the songs and for performing. Because I think a lot of people, especially younger people who are trying, maybe this is like old man yells at clouds, but I do kind of feel like a lot of younger bands that I talk to on here and younger artists, regardless of genre of music, they're so focused on like the business side of things and they're wanting to like get hits and they want to make money and they want to do that. And it's like, you're too young for you.
I know the business side,
and it's like,
you know what? I wouldn't be in this for that.
Right. It seems weird. I mean, obviously, every one of those people I'm talking about, I'm not trying to shit on them or anything, and I hope they do succeed. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had them on my show.
Well,
but
we want everybody.
Right. Exactly. I want everyone to succeed. Like that's kind of the point of doing this is to
Absolutely.
promote local music. But it just seems like I think people, because of the internet and because of the way music is marketed and music is consumed now, I feel like a lot of people are going about it in a way that doesn't seem authentic to me. It's however they want to do it, they can do it. But I like the way you're coming from in terms of wanting to just express yourself and have people hear it and perform it rather than this is my 5-year plan and this is all this stuff. Like it seems more authentic.
Yeah.
To just want to present your ideas and your songs and your sound than to have this ulterior motive behind it, right?
Yeah, I mean that's where it gets kind of scary for some people. And I've got a few friends out there that have like quit their jobs.
Oh yeah,
and, like invested.
I have tons of friends like that. Yeah.
Into music.
And then if it doesn't work, it's like this horrible tragedy for them because they've right. And it's and there's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's just I see it a lot, and it's nice to see the opposite of someone who's just doing it to do it. You know, like.
Well, I know. I'm totally just into it to do it.
I mean, of course, hopefully it works for you and it takes off and everything. But if it doesn't, you're still.
Well, I think like the Chris Micheal stuff is pretty country, like party, kind of redneck. Kind of because you got the rocky side, and then you got the big voice, right?
Which sells well in Manitoba, though. The rednecky kind of rocky stuff.
And I got the amp. Raymond Rockwell from Rockwell Amps made me, so it's like I got the banger. I got the banger amp.
Yeah,
right on.
So
usually, like hit the strings, it's like everybody's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, this is a country show.
That's country.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, actually, I sent it back to him. Like, I needed to sound more country. He's like, "Okay, no problem." He's awesome. So everybody's this country thing's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I think so.
Yeah, well, you seem like you're excited about it, which is
super enthusiastic.
Good, right?
I can't wait for people to come to that show on March 22nd and see what I'm like. They might not necessarily know because I can't explain it yet. I don't know it, I don't know and understand it all enough. I really know how to. I understand how to write music. I've been doing it my whole life.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
I mean, I had to listen to a lot of people's country to understand how the structure works. I still don't understand the Nashville chord chart.
Sure.
But I go with my gut feeling, what sounds good.
Yeah. But that's how you're going to get something
and
unique,
hope for the best.
That's how you get a sound that's uniquely yours, because you're not outright emulating something that's been done for 50 years in Nashville.
No.
Or something, right? You're just, oh, that sounds cool. Here's how I do it, right?
Yeah, it's like Adam the One Betty showed me how to do this, like, I play a little bit of lead, but mostly rhythm.
Yeah.
It's just this like little bend, eh? And now I just relentlessly, I'm just like, just drop,
Yeah,
like everywhere, right? It's like, stop, man.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I think people will hopefully be pleasantly surprised by the country sound, because I mean, I'm sure you, like you said,
Yeah.
Jekyll and Hyde's have been around for long enough that you've
You know
developed
what,
a
there's-
following, and
You know what's crazy is that there's a lot of like countries. If somebody sits back and listens to Jekyll and the Hydes, they don't realize how much country is mixed in there.
right, just already there.
That was already there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's kind of what like Greg saw, and like
Sure.
he's like, you know,
Well, you heard that influence somewhere.
he's like,
yeah,
"There- it's in there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's in there.
Yeah.
But whether Chris can figure that shit
Yeah,
out, and
yeah.
figure it out and pull it out of himself, you know, that's on him, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, sure.
you know,
sure.
like whatever.
And that's what you're trying to do right now, is pull that out and make. Yeah, cool.
Like I said though, I wouldn't be playing country if it wasn't for Greg's help though, because he's also helped me a lot in understanding the structures and like
Sure.
how to make it sound. Like he's sent me things back and forth and like, yeah.
So if it doesn't work, we can all blame Greg Arcade.
We can play Greg Arcade. Just kidding now.
Awesome. Okay, so if people are hearing about you for the first time, you know, maybe they've heard Jekyll and the Hydes, didn't realize you were doing a solo thing or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the best way for them to find out more information about where you're playing shows, or to hear some of this stuff when it comes out?
Oh, I guess because I'm older.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Okay. Yeah.
We have Instagram
Yeah.
pages too.
Right
Yeah.
on.
We got a Facebook page, Chris Micheal. The Michael isn't spelled traditionally. So
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Micheal.
Is that actually how your middle
That's
name is
how
spelled?
my name,
Okay.
middle name's spelled. Actually, on my ID, I don't know. Like, I could ask my parents, but like on my driver's license, it says CM Forsyth.
Okay.
And then, yeah, my middle name's not right, but it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's different.
Yeah.
And I like being.
Well, because you look at
different.
it and you're like, oh, this is
I
wrong.
like being different.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like everybody else.
Well, you might get corrected on a lot of posters and stuff if people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That happens to Jekyll and Hyde all the time.
yeah?
When we got our name on a poster, it's like, really? Jekyll and Hyde?
Yeah.
It doesn't say Hydes.
Yeah.
Or it won't be like Entha, it'll be the Jekyll End.
Sure. Yeah.
We give up.
Yeah.
There was a time when that bothered me, but now I'm like, whatever.
You still get to play the show, so who cares?
Like, we
right?
don't
yeah.
care.
Yeah.
Our names, you can spell our name backwards on the poster these days.
Doesn't matter, right? Yeah.
We just want to kill it, you know?
If anyone even makes a poster anymore, anyway, right? It's all
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Facebook events and stuff. Yeah. So Facebook and Instagram are the main sort of spots.
We got
for-
Instagram. Jekyll and the Hydes has a website. Chris Micheal doesn't have one yet.
Okay.
It's in the process of
Cool.
being built. Yeah, like basically, like I work,
Yeah.
and then I basically take a little. Whenever I get a little bit of extra money or whatever, I kind of put it aside into like the kiddie fund and
Yeah.
kind of grow. I definitely don't make a living playing music.
Sure. Yeah. Are you when this single comes out? Is it where are you releasing it? Is it just going on all the digital stuff or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, all basically every listening platform. Right now, I'm doing just internal, like anybody who has a Spotify playlist out there.
Yeah.
I will send them the song. They can add it to it now.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So if anybody wants to hear Fire and Heart, might have to take a little bit of ambition because there's just so many Spotify playlists. But if you find it, you get to listen to it.
Sure. Yeah. Cool.
That's the challenge.
And then when is the EP? Is that you want to do an EP with both bands, right? When is that sort of planned for? Is that
So, because Howl at the Moon's a pretty big deal for me.
Sure, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that's I guess that's the biggest deal for me right now. But because I'm not that big of a deal.
right? Yeah.
Whatever. But it's cool that I got offered that opportunity.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
So, after Howl at the Moon's done, we're gonna do a little wrap up for about 3 weeks, and then we're gonna start both EPs at the same
Cool.
time.
Okay.
The reason I want to do both at the same time is because we're probably gonna have to use some like external mastering and mixing.
Sure.
That I can't do here. So both those albums are gonna be recorded right here
Okay.
in this room that we're sitting in right now.
Including drums and everything.
Everything.
You drag them all in here. And...
I have quite a bit of equipment.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So it's gonna be the drums stay out there. We
Okay,
have
thank you.
Snake and everything that runs.
Right
in
on,
the
right
room. So I think at the same time because then I can get everything kind of mixed and mastered at the same time on a budget.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, being an independent artists and everybody that's in every band, like we don't want to be spending a ton of money. Of
course, yeah.
either. Like
Yeah.
just to do what we love. It shouldn't cost money,
You would hope not. Yeah.
right?
It's gonna cost something, but yeah,
Damn
hopefully
it.
you can. Yeah.
It
Cool.
always
Okay.
does.
So that'll be when are you expecting to release those? Like for later this year, kind of thing.
I think
or?
we're gonna probably, it'd be closer to fall.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have those dates actually together pretty soon. I know with Jekyll for sure we'll get that date hashed out next Monday.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Because we're gonna start laying some bed tracks so we can all kind of sit on them and have
Yeah.
them and listen to them.
Like pre-planning for what's going to go on the EP and stuff. Yeah.
But I really don't want to start actually diving deep into those recordings until July when everything's off the plate.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because always with the recordings, you never quite finish them. You just have to accept what they are.
Yeah, it's done.
That's the worst part.
Well, some bands will do it for years. They'll keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, and it never works out. Like it's
there's just never an end. Like there's always like that song "Fire in Your Heart." There's got to be on that computer right there. There's got to be 20 different versions of it. Right. Until like I drive myself nuts and everyone around me. Yeah. And then I go, okay, I'll stop. I'll walk away. That's enough. Okay, I'm done.
And then you put it out there, and then once it's out, it's out.
It's done, right? There's nothing I can do about it, right? But the thing is, even if I listen to it now, I'm like, oh, I could have did this.
Sure, of course, like,
I have to finally
just accept it.
I've released 20 or 25 songs over the years. And I'm just at the point now. It's like it's okay, man. It's okay. It's just it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, once they're out there, they're open for whoever's listening to interpret it however they want and find the problems if they have seen.
I really hope, because like I said, like with my dog, I lost my dog. I really hope that song connects with people that have had somebody that has had such an emotional impact on them. Like, where it's like, if you've lost a partner or a family member or a pet that you love, that you've had such a deep bond with. Sure. It's going to be I think that song is more for that than it is for doing super well on the radio. Sure. I think it's more for that one-time listen.
Makes the impact on the person, Yeah,
and I think that's where I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I don't care if I don't want that song to ever make me any money. Right. It's just like, this is who I am. This is Chris.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
And then now I can go play country.
Well, maybe that's a good way to end it, actually. I like that as a way to end the podcast. So if people want to hear more episodes of this show, you can go to witchpolice.com. All 400 and some episodes are there for download and streaming, or I'm almost at 400. So our friend Greg Arcade has been on the show, I think, 8 times or something over the years. So, you can dig through all those if you want to. You can also tune in on Sundays at midnight on UMFM 101.5. And those are older episodes that kind of get a boost and get played a few months after they come out in podcast form. So you could be driving in the car on a Sunday at midnight months from now, and this episode will be playing. And then maybe the EP will be out by then, right? So it's kind of the benefit of getting an extra bonus boost on the radio.
Absolutely.
And of course, it's available in podcast form whenever, too. I mean, like I said, I've been doing it for almost 7 years. And everything back to episode 1, if you hate yourself and want to listen to it, it's there, right? So yeah, it's there's a lot there in the archive, and that's the podcast.
It's a one-way road trip to slice of heaven. Yeah, I'm cruising full speed ahead, I'm slowing down. Everybody listen up, got a song from the bottom of my heart, going out to pour my love. She got there something special, sweet sticky honey, drop it down to your knees. It's a one-way road trip to Sasebo, and I'm cruising full speed ahead and slowing down. It's a one-way road trip to Sasebo, and I'm cruising full speed ahead and slowing down. Slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. Everybody listen up, got a song from the bottom of my heart, going out to pour my love. She got that something special,